Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz. It's me, and I'm here tonight, and not with our usual Saturday night shenanigans. No, 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 no. Saturday night shenanigans will actually be held tomorrow night on Sunday. It'll be Big Diva night. Did I tell you that, Tish? It'll be Big Diva night.
Yes, I wished her a happy birthday on Facebook.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Big Diva. That's my Leo twin.
Tonight is Big Diva's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So,
happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Big Diva. Vanika will be my co-host tomorrow night. So I am doing my recap tomorrow night instead. But tonight, we have the lovely LaTisha Collier, who is here. She was my first co-host for the season premiere, and I think she did a fantastic job. But since she premiered, there's been a lot of crap. A lot of crap on TV and a lot of crap off of TV on the interwebs, like we like to say around here. And she's here because she wants to clear a couple of things up, clarify a few things about what we've seen on TV and on the interwebs. So, welcome to Mrs. Collier, but do not do a shot every time she says husband, because you might be on the floor by the end of this interview. As much as I love you, girl.
My husband.
As much as I love you, girl.
And I do know my husband's name. It's Keith.
My old podcast partner and I, Brianna, used to do a drink smoking game where we used to pick a word, and every time one of us said the word, she would do a shot and I would do a pull from my blunt. Girl, if we did husband, forget it. She would have alcohol poisoning and I don't know what for me, but I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we definitely can't do the drinking game with you with husband. So we're here tonight because you got some things you want to talk about. Okay, but I want to start with you with your background, because when you were my co-host, we touched on it a little bit. Okay, now you talked about your parents and your upbringing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
How your parents were, you were brought up, remind me, they were very
Pentecostal.
Pentecostal.
Yes.
And they were very strict, and you moved out young.
And
right?
loving. Yeah.
And
so
loving.
I just want to clarify. I don't want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
but very strict. I did. I'm sorry to cut you off, Miss Mary.
No,
but yeah, I did. I moved out the day after I turned 18. It would be a decision I regret for the rest of my life, you know. So I always tell any young girls, always stay home as long as you can, you know, because as long as you're in a good home, you know, because you have that covering, you know, you have your parents there to protect you. You don't have to worry about the bills or feeding yourself, you know, things like that. And just rushing out too soon. Anytime you rush and do something, it usually ends up in failure, which is pretty much what happened to me and most of my 20s. Let me put it that way.
So looking back now, you would say to your 18-year-old self, even though your parents were very strict but loving, you would have stood home a little longer.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So that was the biggest mistake you made, moving out of your parents' house at 18.
I believe that kicked off the biggest mistakes that I've made.
Right, exactly.
And then when I laugh, I mean, even if I'm sad, sometimes I'll laugh, you know. So me laughing doesn't necessarily mean that I don't take what I've been through serious, you know. It's just, you know, that's just how it is with me.
I get you, girl, because I do the same thing sometimes. Yeah. I smile when I don't mean to smile. It's kind of like a nervous reaction. I get it. So
I cry when I'm mad sometimes. Like, it's weird.
Frustration, tears, trust me. Oh, girl.
Yeah.
Me and you have a lot more in common than you know. Okay, so you move out when you're 18. And what do? Do you get a roommate? Do you get your own apartment?
I actually did move in with a bunch of roommates, just a lot of partying. It was my first time ever like drinking alcohol. I was 18, So I had never done any of that. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Sometimes I wouldn't talk to my parents for so long because I was just out here having fun. But whenever things would hit me, I would call my dad at like 3 o'clock in the morning and he would wake up and he would talk to me, and then, but I love my parents. I respect them, and I have apologized for how I'm not the best daughter, but, and yeah, I am the black sheep of the family, but I'm also one of the most supportive members of my family.
Who you have
I've got everybody.
siblings?
I do. I have three brothers. I'm the only girl
Okay.
and the oldest. So yeah, it was
You're the
really hard.
oldest too. Wow.
Yeah, to
Okay.
wash all the goddamn dishes.
Wow. Okay. So you were kind of like the mother figure too, sort of, because you were the
Uh,
oldest girl.
yeah, kind of like when when my parents would be at work and things like that. But my mom, she's an amazing mom, so she did everything that she could. But at the end of the day, you cannot control how your kids turn out or the mistakes that they made. My parents did teach me right. I just went the wrong way more than once.
So you're 18, you're out there partying. So what kind of things did you find yourself doing to survive?
Um, well, being irresponsible, there were things that I would want, so, and either not having the money to get it or spending the money that I did have to get it on other shit. So I really did, in my
Were
younger
you
years.
working at the time? Like what kind of jobs did you have at the time?
Yes, I was working. I did a lot of retail jobs. My first job was I worked in a nursing home and dietary, and it was actually a good job. I was there for 4 years. I didn't realize how good I had it until I fucked it up. So, um, but yeah, so I did all that. I've always been good with customer service, good with people. Um, so it's just I just have that personality for it. I got pregnant with my oldest daughter when I was 21, so that kind of took me away from all the partying and everything for quite a while actually. Um, when I hit I think 25 or 26, me and my ex-husband finally separated. And I just was back to partying, being irresponsible, breaking the laws,
Right.
um, and which was, that's not good, but that's what happened. And it took quite some time before, I mean, probably up until a few years ago before I really started to like, you know what, I really need to change my life around, and when I opened up my business in 2019, that's exactly what I did. So 2018 was my last year of bullshit, put it that way.
And we're
Besides
gonna
the
break it
occasional,
down, girl. I mean, there was
ooh,
some
like that.
petty.
Okay,
There
woo.
was some petty. Okay, in
Okay, well,
2005, 2005.
oh, Miss Mary, you going all the way back on me?
Okay, we have third degree theft, bad checks to Walmart. Okay,
Possibly. I mean, I was
okay,
doing a lot of shit back then, so I'm
okay.
not gonna
Then
deny
we
it.
have also in 2005, fifth degree theft, $103, bad checks at Domino's. I like Pizza Hut. You like
Damn.
Domino's. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I
You must have been really hungry. $103 in bad checks at
just did
Domino's.
have no money, is what it was. But I'm like, now that you're reading all this back to me, I'm like, bitch, you wrote a bad check for $103? Like, really? And you
To
got a criminal
Domino's.
record?
To Domino's.
Yes.
I mean, just like, and these are all misdemeanors. 2007, and this is one that you're never gonna live down. A third degree theft of a red doctor.
Honestly, I actually didn't steal that. It just, I
I
was
want to
going
hear
to
the story.
yeah, now it's funny looking back at it, but I also remember being in front of the judge, like, Your Honor, what? And they're like, this is the proof. I was young. I didn't have no attorney. I was young. He was like, pay $800 or pay. I think that's how much it cost back then. It was like 8 something. I remember because I was like, I don't get no fucking 800 some dollars.
Yeah, they wanted $882.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was in a roommate situation. I mean, it was my responsibility to return it. I was in a roommate situation and I believe I ended up leaving and some of that stuff was still there. And so that's what happened. And then I got charged with it. Yeah.
It's always a roommate situation, isn't it?
I don't really recommend getting roommates.
Yes, it's always a roommate
Unless you're
because I've
responsible.
been screwed with a roommate situation. Not with a rug doctor, but with other things, with a roommate situation.
So bad.
Rent-A-Center comes to mind.
Oh
Okay,
my
but
God.
not but
First of
not
all,
a rug
I know
doctor.
I ain't the only person with Rent-A-Center, okay?
Okay, so
Damn,
girl,
you bring me way back.
okay.
A lot of the stuff I tried to push behind me. Rent-A-Center, yes. So you miss a payment, they come knocking on your door. You know what I'm saying?
I don't rip
Banging
the furniture
truck
right out of
outside.
your
You're like, damn, I'm only 4 days late. Y'all ain't getting
Okay.
shit. That's how I felt. But I paid my debt to society. So I can joke about it now. I was wrong for what I did, but I did pay that debt. And
Yes.
yeah.
But now, girl, but then there's a couple of felonies that people
Is it
are
only a
concerned
couple or is
about.
it like 3 or 4?
Yeah, about 3 or 4. And this is where people are like concerned, where it kind of involves your business. We're talking, we have one in December of 2011, a felony theft in the first degree. You were cashing fraudulent checks totaling
Yes.
just under 12,000.
Yes, I did. So I did have my little misdemeanors, but those didn't really do nothing. And I'm like, I was really going through, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you my story. I was going through a fucking lot. Okay. I needed to come up with money. And that was the way that I knew how to go back and do that, And I did. I got in trouble. I turned myself in right away. I don't even think I did jail time on that. Or I don't remember. I don't think I did. I think my attorney really just walked me over to the police station.
Yes.
They gave me
you
a
didn't do jail time. No, you didn't.
they gave me a citation. And then I paid that debt eventually. There's one after that.
Then
this is the big one, I think, that a lot of people.
There was 2013, the where you didn't report your daycare income to receive what was it, over 19,000 in public food stamps and stuff.
Yes. So I was going through a situation with my business at that time, and I just was lying about my income. I would tell them I didn't have no income and was getting, for me and my husband at the time and my daughter, my oldest daughter, we were getting like $535 a month between the 3 of us all together. And that was going on for probably about a couple years. It came to a point where there was a situation going on and I was fighting the state of Iowa, and the prosecutor on the phone was like, it was like a phone conference with the judge or something. And the prosecutor was like, what about those food stamps you're getting or something like that, she said. And my mouth dropped. I'm like, and I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, she is the prosecutor for the state of Iowa, and the food stamps and medical assistance was coming from Iowa. So I said,
she's the prosecutor for a reason. They investigate, girl.
That was my first time really. I'm like, damn. So I was like, I'm laughing now because right now it's funny, but I remember being in that position. I'm like, oh my God, I really fucked up. And she was like, don't worry about it. We're going to come after you later for it. That bitch came after me. Next thing I know, I think I was driving, had a warrant out.
Now, my question to you, all of this restitution, did you eventually pay all this stuff back?
Oh yeah, you have to pay that to get off of probation and things like that. But with this particular situation, it actually dragged on. So I would like to elaborate on that if I could.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course, of course.
Okay, it is a fraud charge, fraudulent practices. So this is what the fraudulent practice came from me underreporting my income. Anytime you're on public assistance, you're supposed to let the state know if your income changes in any way. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I was already lying to begin with. And then I obviously continued to lie. So it was called if I didn't take that 10-year plea, yes, 10 years for lying on your food stamps is public record, guys.
Yes,
Okay.
it is. Yes, it is.
10 years for lying on my public aid application for food stamps and medical. So it was actually both. If I didn't take that 10-year plea, mind you, it's my first time like really in jail. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I was in there for like 2 months, you know, and they're like, if you don't take this 10-year charge, we're gonna charge you with ongoing criminal conduct and give you 25 years. What the fuck you think I did? Took that goddamn 10-year plea. Took that 10-year plea.
Of course you did.
They reduced my bond. I think my bond was like 10,000 cash only. When I
Mhm.
took that plea, they finally like reduced it to 10% so I can bond out for $1,000. And my grandmother, love you, Ganny, she came and she paid for me to get out. So I was out for 3 weeks and then I got sentenced and I'm shaking because I'm like 10 years. When you're not really used to getting in trouble, minus those little petty misdemeanors, you know, when you're in these big courtrooms and they're like 10 years felony, you're like, oh my God, I'm really gonna fucking go to prison for this shit. You know what I'm saying? They let me out on probation. They let me out and I was crying because it was just like, it was a huge, huge, huge mistake that I should have never done. You know, and at the time, my thing was, well, everybody does this shit.
And
Well,
this
they
was
made
in October of 2013.
October of 2000. It was the fall.
And then the next time you were arrested was in September of 2017 for a DUI. So what happened in 2017? Because this is when you started with your arrest again, because you were arrested
I was pretty good for a while.
Yeah, you were. That's what I'm pointing out. You were good for a while, because then in 2017 you were arrested for a DUI. Then in February of 2018, driving with a suspended license, which I'm going to yell at you about this. Driving with barred and driving with a revoked license in August of 2018. You need to stop driving
right there.
You need to stop driving with a suspended license, girl.
Oh, I'm good now. I'm good with my license. I'm good.
Okay, I'm about to say, let me see your license and make sure it's valid,
I would have
bitch.
to block it. Where is it?
Right,
I got it.
right, bitch. Okay. I was gonna say, I want to see a screenshot of that shit, bitch.
Yes, the DUI actually kicked off the repeated. I mean, because the DUI, so I was just driving home, and I don't recommend anybody.
I was gonna say, no, we do not.
No, drinking and driving is bad, you know. And even though in my mind I was okay, I wasn't. I was intoxicated.
We always think we're okay, right?
Exactly. And I will never get it. I've never driven drunk since. Like it's just. So when I got pulled over for speeding. And then he smelled the alcohol, and you know, I go to jail. I think I had to do like 3 days or something. But I was revoked for a while. So I continued to drive, and that pushed
You're just stubborn and you'll just drive. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And it was a lot of charges after that. And I'm like, I gotta take my kids to school. I gotta do this, you know, but it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, because then again in July, driving, you know, while barred and driving while with a revoked license. So that's another charge that you picked up in July of 2019. Because we're stubborn and we keep driving without a license.
I
I'm gonna
did
make
get
you.
one in July of 2019. I sure did.
I'm gonna make you send me a screenshot of your license. That's it.
I'm gonna show you because I'm not lying, Miss Mary.
No, you're not gonna show me on live. You're not gonna dox yourself on live. You're gonna send me a screenshot. Okay.
Where's my
Now
damn license?
you're not gonna show it on live. You're not gonna show
I'm
your.
gonna block out my information.
All right, girl.
I mean, they post everything else about me.
Now, all right. Listen, we got to talk about this. September 2018. You got 2 felonies for second degree
I can
theft.
post this.
All right. There you
Can
go.
you see that? It's not showing all my information, right?
Yes, yes.
Driver's license.
Yes, let me see the expiration date.
Where is the expiration date? Oh, 2024, ma'am.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it. There you
I'm
go.
legal, bitches.
She's legal, bitches. All right. Listen. September 2018, 2 felony counts. Second degree theft for writing bad checks.
Yes.
What's up with that?
It actually hurt my soul to result back to that. And I know that might sound stupid, but it did during that. And it was completely wrong. Okay. Regardless of what I was going through, I should have never broke the law. I actually had almost lost my life. My youngest daughter's dad he had really did some shit to me, and I couldn't move, I couldn't work, and I had to pay the bills, so like I said, it's not an excuse. That's just what I was going through at the time. And at the time, I'm like, I got to think of something quick. I didn't want to get another felony. It has been so long, but that's what I did. And I did actually, with this particular situation, I actually did plan on actually paying that off. But before I could even get that done, the detectives were already calling me.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck. Once they call you, it's too late at that point. So I ended up turning myself in, bonded out. So that was in 2018. But because of me switching attorneys and then COVID hitting, it actually got dragged out. So my conviction actually wasn't until after I had started my business. The crime was in 2018. Conviction was a couple of years later due to COVID and the attorney situation. So yeah, it was something I wish I would have never did, because it wasn't worth it. There's other ways to figure things out. And after that moment, when I turned myself in, and I'm like, really? Like, you have worked so hard, like, why? And then I was like, okay, I need to figure this out. I need to get a good job or, do something that's going to take care of me. And at the time, now I have another baby. I have a baby at this point. So my 2 kids now, single mom. So I'm like, I just need to use what I'm good at, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to open up my own business. And that's what I did. January of 2019, and from there it was up, but sometimes when people hear about, or they get jealous, or they want to know, or if they knew me from before, and I'm like, wait a minute, this bitch got felony charges, or, how is she doing taxes? How is she in business? You know what I'm saying? How is she driving a Benz? You know what I'm saying? She must be still in taxes. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. We just celebrated 5 years in January. So this upcoming January will be 6 years. I worked very hard. And yes, it was, when you're getting paid to prepare taxes, you have to apply for a license. You have to do that every single year. So when they ask you, on that application, I mean, first of all, this is the IRS. They already know all your goddamn business anyway. They're gonna ask you anyway. They're gonna ask you, about your felony. I was so nervous. And of course I said, yeah, and they do they approved me. You know, you want to know why? Because my charges aren't against like people or with my business, you know? So I'm sure they were probably watching me.
Yes.
And everything, I mean, and every year in October, I renew my license every single year. You don't just get your license one time and you have it indefinitely. You have to prove yourself. You've got to take courses, you know what I'm saying? And you have to provide all this information to the IRS, you know? And then it got to the point where I wanted to elevate myself even more, you know? And last year, I was like, I want to be more professional. You know, I started researching conferences and and networking events, and I just started traveling to them. And now I see these big accounting bosses, big tax bosses, and people in other industries, and I'm like, wow, you know, and it
Right.
just kind of took me under their wing. I have mentors and coaches now, you know, and this was, I'm like, wow, you know, I'm getting awards, like, wow, you know, everybody that's got something to say because they think they know my life, but you can never walk in my shoes. You don't know what I go through every day. You don't know what I've been through, what I'm going through now, what people saying, the things that they're saying now about me, and they have the truth right there in their face. You know, this is what I continue to go through, you know? But, and that's why I started my movement with stiletto wearing felon, okay?
Yes,
Because
girl. Let's
I do
talk about
not,
that.
like, I'm getting really emotional talking about this. We don't need to judge people off their past. Who the fuck are you, okay? And for those people who are like, oh, I will never let her follow, bitch, I didn't ask you, okay? I didn't ask you, okay? And that's only for the people that talk shit. That's all. Everybody else, hit me up. No. But, you know, I started my movement, Stiletto Wearing Felon, so that we can come together against society that wants to judge people based off of their criminal convictions. Now, unless you're a pedophile, rapist, you're actually really harming people. Yes, you need to be judged off that. Yes, you know, but anything else, I think you deserve that chance, especially if you are if you're bettering yourself, you know? So, and I just think it's so wrong to bully and harass people and then make up lies or take a conviction from 2013 and attach it to 2023. Like, hold up, okay? And you know, the people that be talking the most shit be other motherfucking felons, okay? Or other people who got convictions, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be the audacity for me, okay? Sorry.
It's okay.
I don't like when
It's okay.
people get
No, it's
picked on,
okay.
you
You
know?
wanted to come out and clear the air, and this is your floor to clear the air, girl.
Thank
This is
you.
your floor to clear the air. Now,
My thing is fact check shit before you go and post and try to defame somebody. Or, you know, like it's just not right. That's all. If it's the truth, it's the truth. But I mean, I don't want to be harassed
no,
either. So
girl, I just want to ask you, what about this fight that you got into in December of 2020 in the parking lot? What,
oh
girl?
my colleagues like oh no, I'm joking. Okay. That was outside of a strip club. I'm being completely honest with you. One thing about me, I will fight if I have to. I'm not fucking scared. I've
I
been doing
mean,
this since kindergarten because I've always been picked on. But I will fight back. Like, can't nobody fuck with me because I'm gonna fight you. Okay. Now I'm grown. I'm about to be 37 next week. It's not my intention to, you know, continue that. But if a bitch something pop off, I'm in that shit. Okay. This situation, however, we
she
literally,
will break your nail. She will break her nails in your face. You fuck with her. Uh-huh.
oh, if I break my fucking nail, I'm gonna break my foot off in your somebody ass. I ain't playing about that shit.
Don't make her break a nail.
Fuck no, or my heels. Don't fuck it. Hell no. But yeah, so we were walking out of a back of a strip club, like just walking outside. I think I was looking for my friends. That's what it was going on. I was with a group of friends and we were at a strip club. Like everybody goes to a strip club now and kicks it. Okay. So I'm walking out like looking for my friends. I'm laughing now because it's just crazy. So there's like a lot of people outside. There's some commotion, but I see my people I'm with into it with some other people. So I jump in that shit. And the liquor, I'm off that Patron, you know what I'm saying? So this girl is like trying to throw bottles at my friends. So I try to swing on that bitch. Then her man, let me tell you, I swung on the wrong bitch. Okay. Because her big ass man came from around that car. He picked me up and slammed me on the ground like 3 fucking
Ouch.
times.
Ouch.
Yeah, my husband was so fucking pissed. I mean, there's nothing he could do because he's incarcerated. Yes, and I was so sore for like a month. It was bad. But if you can see that charge, I believe was dropped.
Yes, it
I should
was.
get
That
that
charge was
expunged.
dropped.
I'm gonna get that
Yes. And you know what made me laugh? The fact that you refused to get the cops your name when they were arresting you.
Oh, drugs. I really don't. But one thing, I
That's
mean, I'm
a
gonna talk shit. I'm gonna talk shit because they think they're all big and bad. But my thing is, they wasn't even
it's
trying to
funny. It's
arrest.
funny, but it's not funny. Uh-huh.
They weren't trying to arrest the guy. The guy had punched my fucking friend in the eye. She had a big ass black eye. She walked outside with me. You know, it was just one of those situations where it's like some guys like high off drugs and just swinging on everybody, you know? So when we went to court, it did get dropped. It definitely got dropped, but I'm like, arrest this motherfucker. So that's why I was talking shit, because they arrested me before they arrested the motherfucker who attacked me. And we both went to jail. Like, what the fuck?
All right, girl, we got one more arrest. And I'm done
That's
with your
it?
rap sheet. Yes, that's it.
Oh, I think I know.
Okay. All right. The one that just happened. Okay. Last year in November. You allegedly called 911 and then you didn't. And you told the
Allegedly.
cops to fuck off. What the fuck? What happened?
No, I definitely told the cops to fuck off.
Okay, yes. All right. You definitely told the cops
Definitely
to
told the
fuck
cops
off.
to fuck off.
Okay, what happened?
So, well,
Because out of
so
all this, you
okay,
you
let me
were
see.
fined
There was
250
two charges.
bucks. Okay.
Yeah,
there
were
was
two.
there was two charges. One was dropped, and the other one was a
Okay,
misdemeanor.
it does show that it was dropped. So which one wasn't dropped? I forgot.
The false report charge was dropped.
Okay, yes. But okay,
Yes.
yeah, because they tried to say I caught and that was dropped. Like, how the fuck are you guys a DA and you motherfuckers can get the 911 phone calls and hear the fucking voice? My voice is very fucking unique. Okay. So and y'all don't play. I had to represent myself and I did a good job. Okay. Except for
Did
the
they
other
get
one.
the 911 call? Did they
They
get the
didn't even
actual?
play that shit. But it didn't matter. The judge was like, you have to convince me. And I convinced that motherfucker. And he dropped that shit. But the other charge, it stayed because my thing is, we were in my truck, but I was drunk. Like I said, I don't drunk drive no more. I was drunk. So somebody else was driving my car. I was in the back seat. The cop comes to the back of the car. I rolled down the window. He asked me for my name. I'm like, fuck you. I give you my name. I don't have to. I'm in the back seat. Normally you don't. But there was something else going on, apparently. So I was supposed to supply my name. I didn't supply my name. I'm like, fucking take me to jail. I don't give a fuck. And I really meant that. And then I was crying when they did it.
No, I didn't mean that.
Yes. But because he was pissed. He wanted me to snitch on some people and I wouldn't snitch. The fuck? I don't even know what you're talking about. That's what the fuck it is. So that's really what it was. You know what I'm saying? And I did. I'm gonna talk shit. That's what the fuck it is. I'm gonna talk shit. And I bonded out the next day or a few hours later or whatever it was. And it ended up getting dropped. But did I get my bond money back? No.
Now,
But that's my last arrest, guys. Okay.
that was your last arrest. But now I have to ask you about bad choices. How did you wound up filing for bankruptcy 7 times?
Oh, damn. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that one.
We got to
So
get it
I
all
was-
out there, girl. We got to get it out there.
I
And just
guess it
talk
is out
about it.
there.
And just talk about it and get it done and over
God
with.
damn, when you get on TV, everything come the fuck out. Shit.
Yep, it does. Yes,
I'm
it
like, y'all
does.
didn't even give me time. So actually, this came out before the first episode came out, I think.
I think
So
all of it came out before the episode. I don't even know anymore.
I'm like, damn. did this person who wrote this article, like, did you try to shoot your shot at me before? And I fucking okay. So yeah, I did. I don't know if it was 7. It may have been 7. I don't know. But yeah, it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, I'm facing a crisis. I'll say it now because I'm not going through it anymore. But I would file to like stop things from happening, you know. I think the first one me and my husband did, he told me we had to file bankruptcy. This is back when I was like 21. He had a bunch of debt or whatever, and we were married. I didn't know no better. I just did what he said.
This was your
But then,
first husband, your oldest daughter's
yes,
father. Okay.
yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a good man. He's a good man. I'm not bashing him.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, so now that I knew what the bankruptcies could do, like the automatic stay, you know, keep people from fucking with you. So whenever, you know, I was very irresponsible for a very long time, you know, I would go that route, you know, and I would try to do it myself. Didn't really know what I was doing, but I would usually just drop it, you know. And so that's what happened. And that's illegal to file bankruptcy with no intention to continue to file. So don't do that, people, because it's actually very fucking illegal. It's called, I think it's bankruptcy fraud. I don't know. I don't know what it's called. Something like that. Don't do it.
We are not condoning it, so do
We are
not
not
do it.
condoning it. Please just leave that shit with me, okay? Like, don't do
Exactly.
it.
Don't do it.
I just didn't really know.
This is just another one of her bad decisions.
Of many. That's old. My last bankruptcy filing was in 2018. That was also around that time. That year was horrible. That summer. So yeah, damn, that's crazy. But when I was doing all these things and all these civil things, I didn't know about records, you know, even though I was an adult, I'm not knowing that these are public records, you know. I don't think that really, I never even knew until I became professional, started my business, and then people were digging shit up on me. That's when I knew, oh my God, damn. So yeah, I just didn't know. So I just tell everybody your name is everything. You know what I'm saying? Make good decisions.
And that's how you could take what you learned in what you're starting with stiletto wearing felons and teach, you know, your name is everything.
Your name is everything. And unfortunately, it's very hard for me to you know, it's where I'm from. I mean, they know things, but you know, we're good. But now, like being on TV and people just throw stuff out there and people run with it, not really either knowing what's going on or they just don't give a fuck because they just want drama, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I put myself in this position because of the choices that I made. And as many times as I try to rectify it, I still have that on my record, you know? And I just would hate for somebody else to fall into the situations that I put myself in, you know? And it's very hard. I've been professional. I've been in my business for over 5 years, which is very hard, you know, for a small business, you know, and then especially somebody with my background to go up against people with no backgrounds and corporations. Now I have corporations that hire me, you know, and majority of my clients know about my criminal history or know a little something, but it came to the point where I don't just jump out and say it. You know what I'm saying? I let myself speak for, you know, my work speaks for itself. If they were to ask, I'm completely honest with them. But, you know, I don't want to have to bring up my past every single time, you know?
Yeah. So I have another question, unfortunately.
Yeah, I should have got that damn drink.
Yeah, I warned you, girl, to get your drink on.
Yes, I know, but I didn't want to get drunk.
So
I do got my water though.
Speaking of your business, did your business get evicted from your office space that we seen on TV, that space that we see?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Technically, yes. I will not lie. Technically, yes. But I mean, you see the amount. I think it was like $30,000 some dollars. That racks up over time, you know. In Iowa, they evict you pretty quickly. Like if you don't pay your rent, they can take you to court and you'll have to be out within a few days. They do that. I think it's wrong. They do it with businesses and they do it with residentials. So to have that racked up, there was already indifferences between me and my landlords at that time. However, I did owe them this amount of money. Okay. And we moved on to another place, before that article. But yeah, so that's what happened. And I am working with my previous landlords to make sure that I do pay them the amount that I think that I owe them. Because I do owe them some money. I just didn't agree with the amount they were claiming I owed. But I don't want, even though we did have to move, I don't want bad blood. I do want to make things right. I don't want it to continue to be a habit that I've overcame.
Right. Okay. Now, how about your home? Are you being evicted from your home?
No.
Okay.
Not being evicted from my home. I'm assuming there's another article. So no, we are not being evicted from our home, but if you look at the public records, you will see a lot of case filings from the person, and I'll go into detail here in a second, as far as I can go anyway. You will see a lot of case filings, but you will see them all dropped. Now I think the one that's going on now is still kind of pending, and I can't elaborate much on it, but just know that things went in my favor. Okay. But very soon I will be able to go into more detail. But for now, I did make a post that my attorney drafted up for me. I can't remember everything it said, but I did post that on my social media accounts. But pretty much in 2020, I had entered into a fraudulent land contract. I didn't know. It was 2020, it was a lot going on in the world at that time. And I was just so happy to be able to finally get to the point where I could purchase a house. I had never purchased a house, So I had put down $40,000. I put down $40,000, okay, on my house. What I thought we were closing in on it at 400,000, he actually closed on it for 380,000. I mean, the realtor that I had hired to represent me as my realtor, and then he also he had a program. This is how I was approached. He had a program for contract sales.
Right, because this was actually called a lease to own contract.
Yeah, so it's like a rent to own contract.
Right.
Except for that's not what I wanted. My actual house that I was in prior to that, they offered that to me. I didn't want that because you'll pay like $1,000 and like $50 would go to the principal of the house. So I really thought that I was getting into the type of contract that I wanted, which was just the land contract, and majority of my payments going to the principal. Of course, I knew he was going to make a chunk of money off of me because of the situation I was in. I understood that part. I just didn't know about the paperwork. Even though yes, I'm an accountant, and yes, I'm supposed to read everything, but this person had preyed on me and I trusted this person, and I didn't realize the situation I had put me and my family in until, let's see, I think the first time that I was late, usually I would pay my house payment by the 5th, and I paid $4,000 a month. Okay. I pay by the 5th, and I do have all that paperwork too. And then one time I paid, it was after the 5th. It was like the 6th or the 7th. But before I did it, I got home and there was a sign on my door that says a 3-day notice. I'm like, a fucking 3-day notice? Nigga, I ain't renting. What the fuck? So I called this person. They're like, yeah, well, this is the contract that you signed. I go look at my contract. He's motherfucking right. So I'm like, hell no. I just gave you all this money. I done put it in a $14,000 fence. I put in all this money into my house. I'm like, hell no. So I pay him, get it over with. And this happened on more than one occasion, and he would file against me. I'd pay him, he'd drop it. So I'm like, you know what? I really need to just get a mortgage and get out of this situation. And so we had so many cases and they were always dropped. I just got sick and tired of it. And my friend, who is a realtor as well, ended up seeing my house. She pulled up my house on the county assessor site. And she's like, girl, so-and-so has the deed to your house. This is a company that I would never fuck with, okay? I'm like, what? So she shows me. So I call my realtor / guy I make payments to. He doesn't answer me. So I'm like, oh, hell no. Next thing I know, we're in court again. The judge brings it to my attention, and this is all public knowledge, by the way, people, that my contract looks like a lease disguised as a land contract. As I'm paying property taxes, I'm paying like $7,500 a year, for property taxes. And that's what caught his attention. And so then Iowa Legal Aid picked up my case, which is public knowledge as well. They picked up my case and they represented me. And we fought for a while. And let's just say that I'm going to be off in a better position.
It says you're returning to court on September 1st, the article says.
See, I didn't read the article, but
yes.
More than likely we won't have to go back to court. We already had our settlement conference.
Okay.
In May.
Okay.
I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I can't talk about the things of the settlement, but just know I'm okay. So I can't talk about the things of the settlement, but yes. That's it. So there is no eviction. There's not even a pending eviction. I don't even know what those court records say, but I'm sure it doesn't say evicted or being evicted. So
sounds good to me. Now, why did you you already explained about the rent to own, that you didn't know that it was a rent to own contract to begin with.
No, I didn't. And you know what? And I'm not saying rent to own is 100% bad. Just know what you're getting yourself into and get an attorney to read your paperwork. Okay. It made everything that glitters ain't gold. Okay.
Yes. Get a real estate attorney, because just because you're an accountant doesn't mean that you understand what the fuck you're reading. Trust me.
And I don't know if you guys have paid attention to a lot of the things that go on in my area as far as real estate or landlords and things like that. The building collapsing. Did you guys hear about that?
Yes, I did. Yes,
okay.
I did. Mm-hmm.
There's a whole movement against people like this right now.
Yeah.
So it's just, and it's like the wild, wild west here. Like, it do say, I'm sorry, somebody was messaging me while I'm on live.
No, don't worry.
So yeah, it's like the wild, wild west. They just, they're so used to getting away with things. But my case is definitely going to help other people. That's all I can say.
So Tish, let's talk about the show and let's clear up some shit that's been going on with the show. First of all, is Keith going to be involved with the accounting side of your business? Is he going to be doing taxes, collecting social security numbers and personal information and all that shit?
Oh my God, these people are crazy. No, I never even said that. I never said that my husband was going to be an accountant, that he was going to be a tax preparer. I never said that shit. So no. In my business as a whole, he's an advisor to me. Okay. I think they finally aired the part about the advisor, but I said that so many times when we were filming that when it aired, they cut everything out just to get that fucking drama. And that shit pissed me off. It pissed me off. But no, that's not the case. My husband pissed off about it too, because that's not how things were supposed to go down.
So when he comes home, what are you guys going to do together in business? Like, what are your plans for business?
For business, so we do have one. I think I told you about Mary, but I kind of think I want to wait to reveal that. I want to reveal it a special way.
Okay.
But my husband wants to get into the freight business. So he's actually taking like his freight broker courses right now to get his certificate for that. So he's thinking about maybe starting off getting his CDL first, and then maybe like hiring on other people. So that's actually what he wants to do right now. He's been very passionate about that. He also wants to get he wants to open up or like a nonprofit or something to help other incarcerated individuals, kind of like what I'm doing as well. And his dad actually does it as well too. It's called Positive Brothers United. And it's just to, to help out the community. He really wants to um, help turn like the youth and the men, the young men, help them turn their lives around and keep them from going down the same path that he went through.
Yes. Yes. So wait a second, I just got distracted. I'm sorry, I was looking at the comments. I just wanted to ask you.
Oh, I can't see no comments.
Yeah, but
I'm on Zoom.
yeah, because you're on Zoom, so you would have to look at the YouTube.
But damn.
Talking about the drama that they were bringing, okay? The
Who?
whole Deanna, no, with the whole Deanna situation.
They was going in on me.
Right? Let's
God.
clarify that. Let's clarify the Deanna situation and the
No,
drama.
I did not fire Deanna over that shit. And yes, I know that Deanna and my husband talked when they were teenagers. They never had any sexual relations or anything. She was a teenager. Yeah, I knew about that, but it did get y'all talking for 3 whole fucking episodes. I just didn't think y'all was gonna come for my fucking life over it.
So what do you think about this whole, see, from the first time we talked, you were still like fresh because the first episode was just airing.
Yeah, they threw me right into
right until now.
Right away.
Okay, so how are you feeling now with all the social media feedback and the drama on TV and the editing?
Need to smoke a blunt, okay? Shit. As long as it's legal in your state, guys, okay?
What does Keith say about all this?
He doesn't see, I have to tell him, and it's hard for him because he's incarcerated, so he can only control so much. So I try to just take it on myself for him, but I do let him know certain things. But when my criminal history came out, it took all the attention off of him.
He was like, my goodness, I thought I was supposed to be the felon. Right? He's like, I'm supposed to be the felon to get all the attention.
And he knew, my husband knew, like, well, right when he seeked me out, he already knew. And he knows that's a fucking thing. But yeah, it's like, okay, but in prison where he's at, like, I mean, everywhere, they all know who he is, because just know who he is. But they're all watching, they're all very supportive of us, and they like how I ride for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they think I'm funny. So yeah, but he doesn't like people attacking me,
Right.
I'm his wife, you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't like that. And so I just came to the point, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Fuck these people who want to put an input on my life and try to harass me, down talk me, and things like that. And they really don't even fucking know what they're talking about.
You got to do it, girl, for your sanity, or you're going to lose your fucking mind.
Don't lose your fucking mind.
You're going to lose your fucking mind. Mm-hmm. So what's your 5-year plan? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Man, 5 years, we're 1 pregnant for the 3rd time, probably. My husband will be home very soon.
How many children do you want to have with him?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, because I already have 2 girls. My husband has a girl and 2 boys. And I love them all. Okay. But I want biological boys, I want to be able to see my dad and my boys and my husband, I want to be able to see, because they're both amazing men. Yeah, my husband's incarcerated, but he's still an amazing man. So I don't give a fuck what anybody says about him. Okay. So I want to see that. And I do want to have a girl, but I want that to be the last one because I already got 2. I can't do no more right now. But helping my husband with his business, growing my business, even though people have been trying to tear me down, people have been booking with me. You know what I'm saying? They find me on the show, or they're people talking shit. You're making me trend. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's not all good stuff, but I'm trending. You know what I'm saying? So it gives those people that I would want as my clientele reach out to me to get to know me for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that and I appreciate that about them.
So what's your final message for the fans?
Well, one, thank you everybody for tuning in. And just, when you just always fact check everything, don't always believe everything you see, even though it may be entertaining. There are people who have lives. We have lives, we have businesses, we have to support our families, we have children, so just be mindful of people's feelings, and this is gonna go over a lot of people's head, like, yeah, okay. But just know that, this is what I say, it could always be you. You know what I'm saying? So just always be kind. That's how I am. Always be kind, unless a bitch come for you. Okay. But other than that, always be kind.
Always be kind, but you have a right to defend yourself.
You
right?
do.
When a bitch comes for you, you have a right to defend yourself. Well,
You do. And drag that bitch.
Drag that bitch. Do you
Drag
have
her.
anything else you want to clear up while you're here? It's your floor.
I don't know. We went through a lot. Shit. Is there? You the blogger. What else you got on me over there?
I told you, I got you, girl. I was gonna, get all the points.
I appreciate it. That's it. Continue to tune in. Enjoy the drama and the TV drama. Enjoy it, guys, and be respectful though. Okay, be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all doing, y'all Facebook groups and on the blogs, all this. Okay, it's annoying, but it is what it is. But when you come to my shit, though, be prepared. Okay, because I'm gonna clap back at your ass. Okay.
When you come to her page,
Maybe I ain't gonna give everybody attention, but be respectful,
right?
and watch what the fuck you say.
There you go. All right, girl.
Thank you so much, Miss Mary, for having me on.
Of course. No,
Thank you. What's the rest of them comments say? They talking shit.
they're just
Your
chatting
people are
amongst
nice.
themselves. Yeah,
Some of these other people.
they're just chatting amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Enjoy your Saturday nights and continue to tune in. Next season episode airs next Friday.
Yeah. So,
okay,
girl, it's all good. It's all good. It's all
you
out
look
there.
really high over there. You're cheesing like a motherfucker.
Hey, girl, it's all good.
I totally noticed a big difference from when we started this interview.
And that's what makes my channel is this. By the end of my interviews, I'm high as a motherfucker. But why the fuck not? But listen, girl.
Blow some into the air. These motherfuckers need that shit.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Everybody needs to fucking smoke. And we will all just get along, right?
Why can't we all just get along?
Why can't we all just get along? Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Ma'am. Thank you, everybody.
See you tomorrow night. Big Diva, 9 o'clock Eastern.
Diva. I'll be
6
watching.
o'clock West Coast.